Hey, Just MC here, talking about some cheap and/or free resources for beat makers. Whether you make boom bap, trap, lo-fi, it really doesn't matter. These can probably help you out. First off, I'm going to talk about some cheap resources. Here are a few apps that I like. eSPi by Lohis. It's cross-platform, so it works on Mac, Android, iPhone. Basically a recreation of the SP1200. So classic boom bap, lo-fi vibes, and I think it's $20 on Mac and about $12 on mobile. Before I jump into the others, I personally use iPhone, so I can tell you these are great on iPhone, but I can't speak too much for Android. Garageband, obviously Apple only, a great product. I think it's very underrated. Maybe not an ideal DAW, we'll talk on that later, but nonetheless a powerful tool. Has a ton of sounds, a lot of virtual instruments, and if you're an iPhone user, it's free. iMaschine 2 from Native Instruments. It's about a $10 app. Just quick, simple beat making, and it's really fun to use. Now this one's a favorite of mine. Koala Sampler by Elf Audio. It's about a $5 app, really fun, very simple, easy to use, and it kind of reminds me of the 404 or the Pocket Operator. Moving on to DAWs, or digital audio workstations. These are a little more powerful and more for full-fledged production. You can use them to record in, to structure your songs, to mix and master, all the way to the end of the product. My personal favorite is Ableton. You can often get Live Light license for free if you buy some hardware. I know it comes with like the Novation Launchpad or the Focusrite Scarlett. Another very popular one is Fruity Loops Studio. I personally haven't used it in like 10-15 years, but I know it is very common for beat makers especially. Now if you're on Apple, Apple's Logic is really, really awesome, robust, very powerful software. Now all the DAWs I listed do offer free trials, even up to 90 days. And I know Ableton and Fruity Loops Studio both have like $100 stripped down versions. And if you're an Apple user, Logic is only like $200 and it's industry standard software. All right, moving on to some hardware. Now, personally, I believe every music producer needs to have some sort of mic or some sort of way to record audio. This could be your laptop, it could be your phone, old tape recorder that could get complicated getting it onto the computer, or maybe you want to go the higher quality route and get something like the Zoom H1N, some sort of field recorder. Those usually run you about like $100. Now for those looking for a hardware sampler and you don't want to use software, I highly recommend Teenage Engineering's Pocket Operator KO, better known as the PO33. It's a great little sampler, offers full song structuring abilities, it has great effects, and I think it runs under $100, so. All right, now the totally free software. There's a lot of companies offering free software or sounds right now, so I'm going to talk about some free apps. iKaossilator by Korg. It's got some really awesome synth textures, as well as some effects, even some pretty cool drum sounds. Model D by Moog. Awesome for that classic Moog synth sound. SynthMaster One. Awesome for synth leads, but it also has some pretty cool synth bass tones. On to VSTs, or basically virtual instruments for your DAW. My personal favorite, Spitfire Audio Labs. They've got a lot of awesome sounds from pianos, an electric piano like the Whirly, even strings and brass like orchestral type sounds. They're really awesome, totally free, and even better, they offer a new sound every month. Splice, while member driven and about $8 to start per month, they do have a free plugins section. I know they have iZotope Vinyl, which you can get elsewhere, but they also have a bunch of other free compressors and EQs and stuff. Definitely worth checking out, especially if you're already a Splice member. Plugin Boutique, they're basically a plugin coupon website, but if you go click around there, they've got a lot of free stuff, including virtual instruments by Tal, also virtual instruments by Ample Sounds, as well as basically any effects plugins you could need. Finally, there's some free drum packs and sound packs that are out right now. So first, Decap's Drums That Knock Volume Free. Now, I think this is comprised mainly of sounds from his other kits, and while there's not a lot in it, everything in it is pretty high quality. I'd say he's becoming industry standard, especially with his deep 808 bass tones. On Reddit, there's a subreddit called Drumkits, and this is a user-based community where people post sound packs pretty much daily, new ones for free. Samples from Mars. Now these are really cool for that analog sound. From what I know, they take something like an 808 drum machine and they record that into a reel-to-reel tape recorder, basically the way an old vintage studio would. This gives their sounds that nice analog warmth. I know right now they have at least 4 packs up on their site for free. A little shameless self-promotion, I put out a free loop pack, Gettin' Loopy, where I played every instrument, composed little loops, as well as my doom rap boom bap drum pack. Those are up for free on my website, wolfhousestudio.com/downloads. All right, that's all I got. Take care and stay creative.